the last line, just when it says, if we the people let them continue, another mother will weep. And I thought, how can I sit here feeling sorry for myself when there are literally millions of people in harm's way for the policies of my government? And I was ashamed of myself because I didn't march. I didn't write my Congress people. I didn't contact my senator, to prevent the invasion and occupation. But I thought, you know what? Because I didn't think my voice could count. I didn't think one more person could make a difference. And after Carly read me that poem, I thought, well, damn it. Is Fox News gone? I thought, God damn it. If I can't make a difference, at least I'm going to die trying to make a difference.
I love you.
I think I've proven that disproven that one person cannot make a difference. That one person really can make a difference. And so that's when I started. That's when I started speaking out. There was a gentleman here who heard me my very first time I spoke, July 4th, 2004 in Berkeley, California. Then we worked against George Bush in 2004. Then we formed Gold Star Families Speak Out, an organization, Gold Star Families for Peace, an organization of people who have lost loved ones who want the anti-military occupations. And then one day, in August of '05, I was sitting in my chair, and I heard that 14 Marines from one Marine Reserve unit in Ohio were killed. And then I heard that monster, George Bush, tell us that they died for a noble cause. And so he was having a press conference in Texas, and I waited to hear one reporter ask him what noble cause. Do you think any of the propaganda media asked him that?
No.
So I thought, what's wrong with you? You have a voice. You go down to Crawford, Texas, and you try to ask him what noble cause. And I did. And then, like Matt said, the Democrats were elected. Many people, maybe not too many in here, thought that they would end the war and hold George Bush and Dick Cheney accountable. And they betrayed us and they failed us. And then George Bush commuted Scooter Libby's sentence, which is treason. And Congress's support of that is treason. George Bush should not only have been impeached, but he should have been thrown in prison. And there was not one peep out of Congress. Dick Cheney during that time said he's not a member of the executive branch, and so he doesn't have to follow, he doesn't have to obey subpoenas. And Congress is like, okay, whatever George Bush says, Congress says, okay. They might grumble a little bit and have a show, but they never do anything about it. And on that day, I thought, what's wrong with me? I'm going to challenge Nancy Pelosi to do her job, and if she doesn't do her job, then I'll run against her. Like Matt said, essentially campaigning for the last 3 years. I've met with parliamentarians all over the world. I met with the president of Venezuela. I met with the foreign minister of Ireland. I've met with the Bloc Québécois in Canada and changed their minds so they would accept war resistors. Their policy is to give our war resistors amnesty now.
All right.
I have been your peace emissary all over the world for the last 2 years and all over the country.
Yes.
And I have done a lot of work in San Francisco, and we already have gotten a lot of support. And I am a born and raised native Californian. The last 15 years lived 1 hour away from San Francisco, and I'm not so much back of Jacksonville values, but really San Francisco values. So many people have told me, Cindy, we have not had our values represented in Congress.
No.
For the last 20 years. San Francisco values should be the predominant values all over this nation. Guarantee you that our values are the same. And I will always represent the 8th district.
Yes.
But I guarantee you I will never have to compromise a personal value to represent your values. So you will be represented, and our San Francisco values will not be stifled anymore.
Right.
They will not look at being a liberal or progressive as a dirty word. They will not look at people's skin color anymore, or whatever language they speak, or wherever they come from, and judge them based on that. We will spread the values of humanism across this country. There's a card that has my 10 core campaign emphasis. You know, first of all, it's accountability. I will be in Congress for almost 3 weeks before George Bush leaves, and I will introduce an impeachment resolution every year. That we have made all over the world to make sure he can't step foot in any other country without being arrested. And we want all occupations to end, all fences torn down.
No more.
From Israel and Palestine to Iraq and Afghanistan to Mexico and California. We will restore habeas corpus. We'll restore. I'm not going to go down the list of freedoms that he has taken away from us with Congress's help, but we will get all those freedoms back, and we won't be afraid anymore. And we won't hand over our personal freedoms to those people in Congress, to the administrations, because you realize who's ever president next, unless it's one of us, is just continuing the Bush policy of empire and oppression. If it's going to be Hillary or Giuliani or whoever, it doesn't matter. They will continue the Bush policy. So we have to have at least a few people fighting for the people. Don't we elect our representatives to protect our rights? I was always under that impression. But they have been taking away our rights for the last 7 years. Democrat, Republican, it doesn't matter. And this campaign will not take any money from corporations that profit off the war or oppressing people. And even if a green or whatever corporation comes in and attaches strings that do not correspond to San Francisco values, we won't take their money either. We cannot be bought.
Yes, ma'am.